All right. What's up, everybody? It's your guy Ace back at it again with another real estate segment for you guys. So today we're going to be covering the first time home buyers program in the state of New Jersey. Pretty good program, pretty simple. It's really straightforward, really easy. They lay out everything. They answer a lot of questions right away and make it really easy and really simple for those people that live up in Jersey to utilize this first time home buyers program, which is pretty dope. I know we might have some people in here that don't live in Jersey. And kind of like I talk about for the other first time home buyer programs, it's not about if you live there or not, or any of the other states, right? It's about getting the knowledge because you just don't know. Like you said, you might hear some information that might trigger something that might make you want to move there to start your journey. You might have family members in the area, you might have friends in the area, or you just might end up in the area down the road. So it's good to stick around even if you don't live in the area just to kind of soak up some of the knowledge. And then, like I said, yeah, so we're going to get right to it. For those of you that is your first time attending any of these meetings that I do, what I like to do is go over all the information first, and then at the end, I'll open up a Q&A. If you guys have any questions on that, any other real estate questions, or if you guys are in any deals, anything like that, go ahead and save those for the end. We do have some people that are in the Jersey area that are wholesalers in the class today. We have, I believe, one or two real estate agents from the area in the class. Another lender reached out to me, so hopefully they're in here. And if they are, if any of you guys are in here, when we get to the end, when we open up the Q&A, if you guys want to just say anything and kind of do some networking, that would be the good time to do that. We had someone in the last class that was a real estate agent, and a lot of people that was in the Florida area, even though we didn't do Florida. And he just kind of opened himself up, and he made himself reachable to the Wealth Squad members because, like I said, that's the whole point of this. We have a community. We have a lot of great resources within our community. So I'm trying to get you guys to start leveraging those resources that you have at your fingertips and that you can just message and start doing stuff with. So um, not too much to get into that. I know you guys' time is valuable. So let me go ahead and share my screen, and then we can go ahead and dive right into it. All right, so here's some of the stuff that we've covered. We've done a few Q&As. So if any of you guys have missed any of the last classes, they're all recorded. They're uploaded in the Wealth Squad University. So you just have to go back and find the ones that I've done myself. But these are the things that we've kind of covered. All the great benefits to real estate. What expenses to expect. How to figure out how much home you can afford, a property you can afford, where to find a property that matches your needs, because each individual is going to be different. How to find a real estate agent, what to expect from home inspectors, how to find a mortgage lender, property managers, how to finance real estate. That's a really big one and a tough one for a lot of people, is coming up with that financing to get into these deals. And then we've covered the first time home buyers program in Texas. We've covered Florida. We've covered California. And now we're getting ready to cover Jersey. So like I said, we're going to run through this. It's pretty short and sweet. Yeah, I'm pretty to the point. So let's kind of get into it. So the New Jersey's first time homebuyer program, they have a down payment assistance program. So this down payment assistance program will provide $10,000 for qualified first time home buyers to use as a down payment and closing cost assistance when purchasing a home in New Jersey. So the DPA, which is the down payment assistance, is an interest-free 5-year forgivable second loan with no monthly payment. So that's a very important part right there for you guys to remember if you do utilize this program. So to participate in this program, the DPA must be paired with one of the first time mortgage loans. And the first mortgage loan is a competitive 30-year fixed rate government insured loan, whether it be FHA, VA, or USDA, originated through NJHMFA participating lender. Certain restrictions such as maximum household income and purchase price limits do apply. So if you guys, like I said, I'm always putting up links. So if you guys ever see links on here, make sure you screenshot it. Write it down, do whatever it is you need to do so you guys have access to it. So that first one is going to be the limits, and that breaks down by the counties. And I actually have the very last slide that I have the limits that are on there. And then the next one is the lenders. So the cool thing about the lenders from this link is they're all going to be familiar with this program. So they're going to be your main go-to, right? So even before you reach out to a real estate agent or any of that good stuff, I would reach out to one of these lenders. They're qualified, all these first time home buyer programs. If lenders want to be a part of them, they have to go through a specific training for this program. And so they're fully trained up. If anything changed, I don't know if when New Jersey's fiscal year, because everyone's fiscal year is different. Some people is in October, November, December, January, whatever it may be. That's typically when rules and regulations will change with it. So if there's been any type of changes, any new updates, or if you're trying to get creative or you want to try to get tricky with things, that's going to be your main go-to, right? Any of those lenders, they'll be able to assist you with any of those type of questions that you have. So the first time homebuyer mortgage program, the New Jersey Housing and Mortgage Finance Agency's first time homebuyer mortgage program provides qualified New Jersey first time homebuyers with a competitive 30-year fixed rate government insured loan. So that's FHA, VA, USDA, originated through NJHMFA participating lender. So back on that link that I had earlier with the lenders, that one right there, that's the one that you want to go through. And then there's also a homeward bound program, which is very similar to the first time homebuyer mortgage program. Everything is pretty much the same. It's just a little different. It's the homeward bound mortgage program. And same thing, qualified New Jersey first time home buyers with a competitive 30-year fixed rate and government insured loan originate through the participating lender. So these are the two programs that they have for you guys to do for the first time homebuyer mortgage program. So these are going to be your only two programs. And then that down payment assistance that I talked about is the only type of assistance. So here are going to be some, typical questions that people have. Are you a first time homebuyer? A lot of people get confused about this because you are considered a first time homebuyer, 3 years, day one. You're considered a first time home buyer again. So you'll be able to utilize, this program. If you're in a different state, and that goes, each individual state, 3 years, day one, you're considered a first time home buyer. And it's outlined in the other programs that we've talked about already as well. Are you planning to purchase a home in New Jersey? So this program applies to homes to be used as a primary resident in any New Jersey county. Does your income and the home purchase price fall within the required income and purchase price limits? Because there are, not only are there income limits, but there's also limits to the amount of the house you can get, right? So you can't just go get $1 million house and all that. And I have the link down at the bottom so you guys can go on there and look and see what the limits are going to be. That's based off of the county. So income limits are determined by the area of purchase as well as family size, but may not exceed 140% of area median income. Properties located in the urban target area are eligible for higher income limits to determine your proposed property is within a UTA, which is the urban target area. Visit the site, evaluate and follow the tutorial instructions, then review the appropriate purchase price and income limit documents linked below. So that link is the one for what the price limits are. And then this one right here is the income limits. So the one that says limits. So you want all those links. Like I said, you got your income limits on this link, and then you also have all the lenders. And then this link on the very bottom is going to be the house limit, how much house that you can actually get with this program. Do you need down payment and closing cost assistance? So the first time home buyer mortgage program is the foundational mortgage program that can be combined with the down payment assistance program, which provides qualified buyers with $10,000 as an interest-free 5-year forgivable second loan with no monthly payment that can be used to cover down payment and your closing costs. And then there's also, so there's another program that they have. This is for the police and firemen. So if you guys know any police officers or firefighters, or if you guys happen to be, this program will apply to you and you only. So active members of the New Jersey Police and Firefighter Retirement System. with 1 year of credible service are eligible for this program. So for this specific program is a little different. So the maximum mortgage amount is $548,250, and the interest rate is a 30-year fix, and program rates are set semi-annually in February and August. So if you guys qualify for that one, when you call, reach out to a lender, just let them know, hey, I'm a PFRS, and I'm looking into this program if that's the one that you want to do. So even if you are a police officer or firefighter, you don't have to do this program if you don't want to, but you're going to have a lot higher maximum amount, and it's not based. It doesn't matter what county you live in and all that good stuff. So that's going to be up to you what you want to do. So if you're not sure which program is right for you, you can call 1-800-NJ-HOUSE. So if you guys want to write that number down, if you're in the area, and you can get a lot more information if you're just not sure which direction you want to go in or any of that good stuff. So it's never too bad to have as many resources as you possibly can, and just gather info. When you do that, all it's really taking is your time. It's not costing you any money to call these numbers. It's not costing you any money to reach out to lenders and all that good stuff, and get more information and kind of get the ball rolling to see where you fall in line. Because then once you reach out to the lenders, they're going to want your W-2s. They're going to want your job history, your income, check your bank statements, all that good stuff. So let's make sure you guys have all your ducks in a row. But if you don't know what to have in a row, when you call them, they'll tell you. I'm sure they'll probably send you a packet, or they'll email you something, or however you set it up, via phone, whatever it may be. But they'll get you squared away. And then the good thing about, once you find a solid lender on lock, they'll let you know exactly how much home you can afford. And then based within the program, they'll let you know what you can get, and then you can reach out to a real estate agent, and then start doing your search that way. So eligible borrowers must purchase and occupy a residential home in New Jersey. The borrowers must be a first-time home buyer, and that's defined as someone who has not had an ownership interest in the primary resident during the previous 3 years. Borrowers of homes located within the UTA or qualified veterans do not need to be first-time home buyers. So write that down. That's pretty important. But must not own another primary resident at closing. Another very important part. Property must be occupied as the borrower's primary resident within 60 days of closing. So a lot of people always ask me this: how fast do you have to move in? How much time do you have for this specific program? If you guys notice, the other programs, they didn't have anything clear cut as to when, but for most of these programs, it's going to be between that 60 to 120 day window. So this one is 60 days after closing. So, find the house, get your lender, get approved, reach out to a real estate agent, tell them your numbers. They bring you a property, you put in your offers, offer gets accepted, do the walkthrough, everything looks good. You go to, a title company, sign all the documents, boom, boom, boom. That's closing. The property is now yours. Now you got 60 days after the closing to move in. And the borrowers must meet credit score and debt to income requirements, which when you reach out to the lender, they're going to let you know for this specific program what the credit score is going to be. And the good thing about these programs is that the lenders aren't going to just be able to kind of make their own. They go off of what the programs are, which is kind of cool. Because like FHA and all that stuff is nationwide. These programs are state specific, so it's not like I always talk about how sometimes you might reach out to a lender and they might have different requirements versus what the FHA requirements are, because they can do that. They can't go under FHA, but they can go above, right? So let's say FHA requires you to have between a 500 and a 600. A lender could require you to have 620, 650, 700, whatever they require. But with this program, it's with these first-time home buyer programs, it's a lot different. It's state related, not nationwide or nothing like that. So eligible properties, the property must be located in the state of New Jersey. Properties must comply with any and all guidelines of the applicable insurer, guarantor, such as FHA, VA, or USDA. The property must be a single family home, condominium, townhome, manufactured or mobile home. I know a lot of people always ask about the mobile homes and trying to get into it. So you're covered with this program. Which is permanently affixed to real property owned by the borrower, or 2 to 4 family dwelling unit of which one unit is to be occupied by the borrower of his or her principal residence, which is great, right? So you can get a 4 unit, you can get a 4 unit dwelling, which is just going to be one building that's one together, and it has, you know, 4 different, like a small apartment, like a fourplex really, and they're just all under the same dwelling is what that means. Down payment and closing costs. Down payment requirements are based on the mortgage insurer or guarantor's guidelines. Borrower may fund down payment and closing costs through that down payment assistance program, which we talked about earlier, which provides eligible home buyers purchasing a home in New Jersey with $10,000. FHA requires a 3.5% down payment. VA and USDA may allow for no down payment. Income limits are determined by the county of the purchase property, but must not exceed 140% of area median income. And I'll have a list at the end so you guys can kind of see what that's looking like. And then, yeah, it's talking about that, but I got it. And loan terms, participating lender for current loan terms and rates. The list of participating lenders can be found online at the roadhomenj.com, or you guys can go to that link that I sent you as well, that I have not sent you, that I posted on here. So you can do either or. And how do you apply? You apply for the NJHMFA Homeward Bound Homebuyer Mortgage Program. Contact a participating lender. So you can either contact them from that website that I just dropped right there, or from any of the links that I did above. So here goes a good idea. If you guys are in any of these areas, write them down, take a screenshot, whatever it is. These are going to be what the income limits are for these specific areas. So if you guys are in that any of those top counties, you're at 148,400.
learn how to fucking play this goddamn game, bro. Why are y'all wasting my time? Like, I don't even have time for this.
I don't know, but let me mute that person. Okay. All right, let's get back to it. Let me see. Hold on. Sorry, y'all. I had to mute somebody real quick. All right. And then if you're in with the Essex, Morris, Sussex, or Union, 150,360, and then so on. So you guys can write those down, screenshot it if you guys are in those areas. So like I said, the New Jersey first-time home buyer program is not the best that we've gone over so far, in my personal opinion, but it's a pretty good program. It's very simple, clear cut and dry. You see what the income limits are. And then if you guys go to the link, you guys can this link right here, you guys can see what the price limits are for the homes that you guys can get into. And I went over it. They definitely allow you guys to get into, you know, something. It might not be the best, it might not be the nicest, but this is a way for you to start your real estate journey, right? So for the people, and the reason why I'm doing these is because a lot of people, some of the biggest questions that I get from people are, I don't have the money, I don't have the financing, I'm working on building my credit, right? All those things where we've all probably been there at some point or another. So take advantage of these programs. I wish I would have known about first-time home buyer program when I first got into real estate. I didn't know anything about real estate. I didn't know all the different ways how to get into real estate. I didn't know that you could leverage so much and you could do so much. So if I could go back, the only thing I would have changed is I would have utilized one of these first-time home buyer programs to kind of get into the property. I would have built some equity up and either refinance, sold, rented it out. You know what I mean? You got many options, but the key is to just get started. And the cool thing about just getting started is you guys are going to learn along the way. You're going to see kind of how the process works. You're going to get familiar with working with real estate agents. You're going to get familiar with working with lenders. You know what I mean? So you're going to get a lot more comfortable going through the process. So that's all I got for Jersey. Like I said, it's short, it's sweet, it's right to the point. It's very, very simple. They lay everything out really nice. It's really easy to get in contact with lenders. It's really easy to see, you know, what your income limit has to be, how much house you can get based on the area you live in. You know, you can get up to a fourplex. You can do the mobile home, condominium, single family. There's so many different ways for you to leverage this program down the road. So what we're going to do now at this part, we're just going to open up for a Q&A. If you guys have any questions on anything we just covered, if you guys have any real estate questions or just any questions in general, how we usually do, we just kind of just go with the flow. So I'll let you guys take over and you guys can start shooting me questions.
Would you be able to go back to the Jersey thing so I could take a screenshot?
Yeah. Which one do you want? The income limits or
Yeah,
what?
that one right there. Appreciate it.
All right. Yep. And well, if you want the income limits, here it is for this one as well. Did you want the income limits or did you want the house limits?
I got the other one. Let me get this one right quick.
Okay.
All right. Thank you.
I'll leave it on this for a while. No problem. And then for you guys that are in these areas, I'm telling you guys, like, really look into this stuff. They do let you guys get into houses. I think the highest I seen was close to 400,000, which is pretty good for these first time home buyer programs. Because a lot of them, even the ones in like Cali, will cap you off at, you know, the low twos, low threes based on where you're at. So New Jersey really kind of shows out. They look out, you know, for the income limits. They have them pretty at a pretty good spot. And then the size of the house that they let you guys get into is pretty good as well. Like I said, they don't shortchange you guys. They definitely leave you guys with some options, which is pretty cool in my opinion.
Hi. So do you know typically do you have to oh, and thank you for doing this presentation, but say you get this and move in. So do you have to stay within these income limits the whole time, or is it like once you're in, you usually have wiggle room typically with these?
So do you mean as far as trying to get your next property or what?
No, I mean, like, so if I move in here and I moved in earning, like, the limit is 150, I moved in earning 140, but then a year or two later, I'm over this income limit. Like,
So all they're looking at is what you make at the time you apply for the program. So what happens in the future? So let's say once you close on everything, let's say the next day your income shoots up for whatever reason, it's already done because it's based on at that exact moment. So you don't have to. I get what you're saying. Like, do you have to limit yourself on the type of income you
right.
get once you? No, not at all. That was a good question
Okay.
too.
Thank you.
No problem.
Does trading and all that count under your income?
Does what? Trading?
Yeah.
Capital gains, yeah. So once so depending on how long you've owned the stock, so if you own the stock for less than a year and you sell off, you know, those capital gains are gonna be on your taxes, so that's gonna be income.
Okay.
Did any of you guys eat off of AMC these last few days? That's all everybody's been barking about.
I got a question.
What up?
As far as buying out of state, real estate properties out of state, how hard is that to actually manage? Because I see a lot of deals.
Not hard at all. It's easy. I have properties in 7 different states. It's very, very easy. I actually trying to think. I have 7 different states, and all of them are managed by property managers. I haven't had any issues with getting my rents deposited into my accounts. I haven't had any issues with getting multiple bids on things going wrong. And the thing is, I don't know if this is your first class or not, but I'm really big on building those relationships and being completely transparent with your property managers, with your real estate agents, and what you're trying to do and, you know, what you want them to do, right? Because what I've noticed on this journey along the way is that people won't necessarily tell you what's a better way for you to go about things with this real estate stuff, because they don't know what you're trying to do, right? They only will say what you bring to them. So if you bring your complete playbook to them and say, hey, I'm looking to start a real estate portfolio, I want to go down this route. I want to try to get, at least 2 to 3 properties a year under my belt. I need help with this. I need to expand my I need to expand my pockets, meaning people that you use for funding if you need to. I want to work with multiple lenders, you know what I mean? So it's like you need to be transparent with your property managers and real estate agents when you do out of state investing. So that way you make sure that there is no guessing game. There is no shady stuff going on, because I have friends right now who are in the middle of taking their property managers to court because they weren't getting their rents deposit. There was faulty repairs because people weren't getting multiple estimates. So and then it's like we all have phones, we all have computers, so you can easily, if you have a property manager and they say, hey, the toilet went out and it's going to cost $1,200. Well, what's stopping you from calling 3 to 4 plumbers in the area and figure out how much it costs to get a toilet fix if you're not believing what they're saying? You know what I mean? So there's a lot of different ways that you got to go about it, but you just have to stay on top of it. But me personally, I said 7 different states, no issues whatsoever, because I'm completely transparent from the beginning. And I treat it like a business relationship, and also just a relationship in general.
Got you. As far as property managers, is there like an actual specific site to find a property manager?
They have a lot of different things out there. They have a lot of different, you can go on like the Bigger Pockets, all the different forums and things like that.
Yeah.
Even sites like Zillow and, Realtor and all those, Redfin, they all have property managers on there now as well. But me personally, the way how I do it is I like to go by word of mouth. So I like to, because it doesn't necessarily put pressure on, like, let's say if you ask an agent that you deal with, like, hey, do you know any property managers or things like that, kind of puts the pressure on them, because they don't want to refer you someone who's not going to do a good job, because then it looks bad on them, and then they'll probably lose business from you and then anyone you tell in the future. Because I'm not a real estate agent myself, but I work with a lot of real estate agents and I refer a lot of real estate agents. So, I actually make money through my real estate agent network because I'm constantly referring people. They cut me in even though I don't ask for it. It's just, everyone taking care of everyone. So it's like when someone takes care of me, I take care of them. I send them referrals, I'll send them, a little gift card, whatever it may be, just to keep everyone happy and keep, the cycle going, because, that's the name of the game. Especially when you're dealing with money, you're dealing with people you don't know, you're dealing with people in a different state, you know what I mean? So you want to try to stay as proactive as you can with this.
Got you. Cool. Thank you.
No problem.
I had 2 questions.
Sure.
Is a timeshare a good place to start so far as rental properties and making passive income? And what do you think the best state is to start and buy property in as a home buyer?
Okay. So for your first question, I don't personally deal with any timeshares at all. I don't know anyone that does timeshare, so I don't know if it's good passive, if it's a good investment or what. That's a world that I don't know anything about, so I can't give you a answer on that one. And as far as the best state, there really is no right answer to say the best state, right? You just have to figure out what your budget is, and then you have to find those states that fall within your budget. So the last class that we had, so if any of you guys weren't in the last class, I definitely recommend you go check it out. It was one of my favorite classes. We ended up being on here for about almost a little over 2 hours, I believe. And we actually had someone that was in the Jersey area, and he was talking about how, you can find properties in the area for 50, 60, 70, 80,000 that don't need much work, that can turn around and bring you 1,100, 1,200. That's a great ROI right there already out the gate. So you want to find those areas where rents are already good. And I mean good for, anywhere between that $800 to $1,200 price range. And then you also want to find those properties that you can get for 50, 60, 70, 80,000 that don't need much work. And that's going to be more in the Midwest, that's going to be down south. And then someone who I don't own any real estate in Jersey, but we had someone that did, and he was kind of giving game on what the numbers are looking like out there. He's someone that's actively in. So it's really just going to be about what fits your budget, what you're looking to try to do. And there really isn't, I can't really just say one state is better than the others. Just depends on, you know, what your overall goal is, what your spending limits are, and, you know, your ROI, all that good stuff.
I appreciate it.
No
I have a
problem.
question.
Yep.
Do you know anybody that used the VA loan to buy a house? First time
Yep.
buyer?
Not a first time home buyer, no. But are you in New Jersey or are you in a different state?
I'm not actually in the States. I live outside the States, but I go back and forth. But
Okay.
I'm a US Army veteran, but I
Okay.
would like to buy a house and so it can
Yeah,
build
so
equity, so rent it out.
Yep. Smart.
So-
All these programs that we've done all support VA. So you'll be able to utilize these programs as well with the VA. And it's almost like I said, already with the VA, you're not going to really pay anything down as far as like a down payment or closing costs or any of that. You can get all that rolled into your loan. But then these first time home buyer programs will cover if there is anything left over, these programs will cover it for you. So it's a good way. The only downside I would say to using this as a veteran is it kind of hinders you a little bit because there are so many restrictions on the size of the house you can get, and based on the state. Not every state allows you to get a fourplex. Not every state will allow you to do certain things. So it's like you're kind of, you know, if you're going to utilize this program, I kind of wouldn't recommend you use your VA with it, just for the simple fact that it's going to limit you so much. You know, now with the new VA, there's like $1 million cap. So you don't really have a cap, you know what I mean? So you want to try to get the most that you can out of your VA when you use it, but you still can use the first time home buyer without having to utilize your VA. So, you know, if I was you, I would utilize the first time home buyer program somewhere just to get your first property, and then, you know, build up some equity into that. By year 1, year 2, you can hop into your next property using your VA. So you just got into, you can use that to get a fourplex. Really, with this program, you can get a fourplex, right? So if you use this New Jersey first time home buyers program, you can get into a fourplex, and they have the down payment assistance and all that. And then a couple years down the road, you build equity, rent out 3 units, live in one. Those tenants will pay down your principal and interest. And then you turn around and get into another fourplex with your VA for next to nothing. So now you just got 8 units for pretty much no money down. Does that make sense?
Yes. Thank you.
No problem. Yeah, if we have any people in here who are veterans currently in, or if you guys know, have family members and friends, tell them to utilize their VA home loan, because the numbers are just insane of how many people don't utilize their benefits. Like I said, you can get into a fourplex with no money down using the VA home loan. So if you guys know any people, if you guys are a veteran, know any veterans, spread the word to them. Tell them to really look into it. They're really just sitting on money, really sitting on life-changing money.
Good evening. Thank you for this program. My question is, the screen that you're showing, the New Jersey first-time home buyer, is that stating that for Bergen County, you have to have an income of 158,000 before you can qualify in these programs?
That's the cap. So if you make more than that, you can't qualify for this program.
Oh, that's the cap. Okay. Okay.
Yes.
Thank
So
you.
you can make up to this amount. Anything over, then you will not qualify for the first-time home buyer program.
Okay. Thank you.
No problem.
Hi, Ace. Thanks for showing this program. It's one of the people who requested it, so thank you for that.
No problem.
My question for you is, I've been reading recently that it's seemingly, I say, becoming easier, I suppose, to buy a house as there doesn't seem to be as much demand. Have you experienced that, or because of what you are typically looking for, you don't have, that typical competition for and getting, to really outbid? Thanks.
So I'm trying to, I didn't really hear some of the question you were kind of breaking in. So are you just saying, is there a demand for these homes or what?
No, I was asking you just in general. I've been reading articles about how it's potentially becoming easier to afford not to afford a home, but to like there's less demand for people
Okay,
buying a
I get what
house
you're
right
saying.
now. Yeah.
I get what you're
So
saying. Yeah, so it is starting to slow down. It was crazy for a while. It was hard, but now things are starting to slow down. Um, and kind of get back to somewhat normal. And when I mean normal, I mean not having to put in 15 to $50,000 over what the asking price is. I mean, there are still a lot of bidding wars going on, but there still are a lot of good properties. You know, you just got to kind of be patient, and kind of like someone I was talking to on here the other day when we were in here. I think he lives out in Cali. He's kind of frustrated because he's been putting in offers and he's been getting outbid. And you just gotta, that means you just gotta go harder. You gotta, put in more work, put in more research, and really be on top of it. But yeah, it is getting a little bit easier. I would say the demand is kind of slowing down a little bit, but we're not there yet. We're not back to, if you find something, you got time to kind of put in an offer, because still, when you see something, you still got to kind of get your offer in. But I would just say, do your research, run your numbers, know what I mean, know what you can and can't afford. That way, when you do see stuff come up, you can put in offers right away. You can have your agents already be ready. Most of my agents that are in different states, they have numbers for me, and once those numbers hit, they send me the documents over right away for me to sign. I don't even tell them put in an offer for me. I just tell them, if you find something that falls within this category, draw up the paperwork and let's get an offer in. So it's slowing down, to answer your question.
okay, great. Thanks for that. Just always good to get an understanding from someone who's really active in this space.
Yeah, and
Um,
it's been crazy, but yeah, it's definitely finally starting to slow down a lot. Those people that were really trying to get the most for their properties, some of them kind of were biting the bullet, because they realized, I'll go back. There's been properties that I put offers in, and then I've had my agents reach back out to me saying that they were in the process of closing, but something happened and the deal's back on the table. And then I've also seen them, come down on the price or keep the price at what it was at asking. So I'm starting to see that a lot more. And yeah.
have you ever waived any contingencies at all?
Yeah. I don't get into any deals that have contingencies with them. So
Okay,
I
and
like to be able to, yeah, I don't like as is.
hmm,
I don't do any of that. I need to be able to get it inspected. I need to be able to negotiate. I don't like that at all. That's because I personally know too many people that have ran into issues from doing that. Um, and when it's a seller's market, they have more control. And like I said, I'm patient. I'm in no rush. And you've been in all the classes. I talk about how I branched out to the auction deals and things like that. So you just got to kind of get creative. Don't be bullied into anything. Don't be pushed into a corner. Don't feel pressured. And when people say no, no contingencies and things like that, that to me is already a red flag that I don't like. So that's me personally. Not saying you can't find any good deals or good properties, but just me personally, I don't like that. And I don't do any of those type of deals.
okay, great. Thanks for that. I had a friend who was telling me a predicament someone else was in that they're in the house and now they have water basically raining down on them, and of course they waived the home inspection.
Mm-hmm.
So now, of course, the person is upset, but at the end of the day, based on your classes and from what I've seen, the person's probably just kind of out of luck
Yeah,
because they
yeah,
waived
for
an
sure. And
inspection.
and most of the time, and not saying that this happens all the time, because in a seller's market, sellers have more control over what they can and can't do. But you got to think, the person that's selling the house knows everything that's wrong with the house. So a lot of people couldn't wait for it to become a seller's market just so they can put that as is, no inspection. You know what I mean? Because they know, and that's kind of foul on owners, but it's not really foul on them when you think about it, because as a buyer, you got to have some kind of control yourself, right? You got to take responsibility as a buyer, and just either wait it out or find a different deal. You gotta think there's always going to be good deals. So if you find a deal that you're like, man, this is really good deal, and you just can't get it, don't let it bum you out. Or like I said, don't feel, the agent, and I always tell this story. It took me a year before I got into real estate, shadowing around my real estate agent. And one thing that she always told me is, she said, never feel pressured to get into a property. She said, whether if you're dealing with me, if you're dealing with somebody else, if you feel like there's pressure, she's like, usually that's already a bad sign. And that's something that kind of stuck with me. And I'm kind of glad, she kind of showed me that and taught me that, because it's kept me from getting into some bad deals. I talk about the deals that I've gotten out of, due to home inspections and things like that. So if you can't get an inspection, don't get the property. That's my number one recommendation to all you guys. That's something that I recommend to everyone. And it's just a recommendation, to each his own. You guys can always do what you want, but trust me, I've seen some crazy to the crazy to, some really good stuff. And I always get inspections, always. So that's my little piece on getting a home inspected.
Great, thanks for that.
Yep. You guys got any other questions for me, whether it be real estate or anything else that we talk about?
Yep, I got a question.
Cool. All right, go ahead.
So, with some of these programs, you said how long you have to live as a first-time home buyer with these programs. How long do you have to stay resident
1
before you
year.
can start okay, and then after that you could do your thing, rent it out and
Yep.
stuff, right?
Mhm.
Okay, that's awesome.
So with these different programs, they have different. So if you do utilize, so for instance, California has a down payment assistant, but you pay it back. You pay the down payment back once you either sell. I forget. It's either once you sell the property, once you refinance, or one other thing that you do, then you have to pay it back. So just be mindful of that, and that's something that you can ask based on what state. If they have a down payment assistance program, ask them what. Some states, I believe, like Florida, you don't have to pay anything back, but California you do. But you only pay it back when you either sell, refinance, or I forget what the other thing was. So just check that out, just so in case you do want to refinance, sell, whatever it is you want to do down the road after that year.
Is that
Absolutely. Thank you so much.
No problem.
I'm sorry. Is that a constituent if within a certain amount of time, like if you were to leave within that 1 year time frame, or just in general, even if you stay with the home?
Yeah, every state is different on how some states you don't have to pay back the down payment assistance, and some states you do. So once you get with the lenders and stuff like that, you can ask them like, hey, what if I do this, or what if I do this? What will that mean for the down payment? They'll be able to give you the information on that, because every state's going to be different.
Okay.
Ace, I was just looking it up, and it says if the borrower continuously resides in the premises as his or her principal residence for 5 years from the loan closing date and does not refinance or otherwise convey the first mortgage, it is forgiven.
Okay, dope.
Yeah.
And that's for New Jersey?
Yes.
Okay, so that's a good.
Yes.
So with that information right there, you would have to look at it. So what she just said is, if you stay for 5, then they'll forgive that down payment assistance. So what someone would want to do is, now you get to a point, you get to a crossroad, because let's say 2 years down the road, you've been living in this property, and let's say the home values have shot up, right? Kind of like something that we're dealing with now. A lot of people were able to sell for 100,000 more. So you just got to kind of sit down and write your numbers out, because they give you up to 10,000 for the down payment assistance. Figure out however much down payment assistance you got. Would it make sense to, if you wanted to sell, would it make sense to completely sell and then pay that back? Would it make sense to refinance, to do like a cash out refi to cover that and then take some more money and get into another property? Or would it make sense to just hold on to that property for 5 years, after a year or two, rent it out, because it's still considered your primary resident? It still can be considered your primary resident. And that way, after year 5, you can not have to worry about paying that down payment assistance back. And then you can go ahead and move forward with whatever you want to do. So just think about that when you guys, if you guys utilize these programs, just look at all your options before you guys make any decisions on how you guys want to go about that. But thanks for looking that up. That's some good info.
No problem.
What's up, Ace?
What up, Chris?
Nothing much, nothing much. So question. So I
Yep.
was on Facebook Marketplace, just looking for stuff to sell and buy and make money off of and everything. And I found a mobile home for sale for $100. Now it's gutted out, so it has no floor. It needs to be completely remodeled, but it's a 1 bedroom, 1 bath. The fee, I think the HOA fee is like $438 a month. Would it be smart to buy that, renovate it, and then rent it out? Like, what is your idea on that?
So this is how I would go about it. I would go do a walkthrough of the mobile home. I would bring a contractor with me, either a contractor or contact a property management group that has access to contractors and tell them, hey, I'm looking to get this mobile home. I'm thinking about using you guys for a property manager. Do you guys have any contractors? They'll tell you yea or nay. Find some that do. Ask them to meet you at the property and then do a walkthrough and then get your estimate. So that way you can see how much it's going to cost you to fix it up, and then know what you'll, ask them, the property managers, while you have them, what you'll be able to get in rents, and then do your numbers from that. See how long it's going to take. Try to reach out to see if you can get like a local credit union to either finance it for you. So that way you don't have to come out of pocket your own money. You know what I mean? Just look at everything. And if the numbers make sense, then yeah, definitely by all means. So, like I'm always telling people, real estate is the slow grind. So, you want to look out 5 to 8 years, right? I'm not talking about next year, next couple of years. Sometimes it takes 5 years before you'll really see green. But the thing is, when you see green, it's really like your money doubled. So it's like however much money you put into it, how long is it going to take you to get that money back? And when you do get that money back, it's not you repaying yourself. You're actually doubling your money, because that original money that you put into your real estate is still tied up in your real estate. People think that when you buy real estate, your money disappears. No, your money gets tied up into your property. And then once you sell your property, then you'll determine if, you're in the hole, if you came out positive, all that good stuff. So that's what I would do, Chris. If I were you, I would definitely get some people out there, look at everything, run the numbers, and then kind of go from there.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, it seemed like, and I saw the post and I was like, let me take a look at this. And then I looked and it was completely gutted out. It's like
just from the sound of things, it's sounding like that HOA is too high. 1 bedroom, 1 bath. What do you think you can get for rent in that area?
See, that's the thing.
And it's a mobile home. It's a mobile home. You're in Florida, so I'm thinking maybe the 6s to 8s, maybe, if that.
Yeah, I'm thinking
1
maybe
bedroom,
like if
1
I
bath
renovate it
mobile.
really, really nice, I can
Yeah.
maybe get 800. It's like for 750 maybe.
And
So
you're cutting half of your rent off of to HOA fees. So already that's just red flags for me personally. But look at it though. Like don't just listen to that. But I'm just go look at it. That way you can get used to this. That way you can keep doing this. You can start building that team, reach out to the property manager, reach out
yeah,
to
that's true.
contractors, just because it's not going to cost you anything to get those guys out there.
Yeah, that's true. I can network with them and I can see what their numbers are looking like too in regards to like renovating a property, even if it's a mobile home. So that's smart.
Exactly.
I'll do that.
And then contact the real estate agent that we had as well, and see if he has any contractors on his team. I think his name was Jerry.
Yeah, gotcha. I
He's in the
added him
area.
on Instagram. I'll reach out to him too.
Yeah, hit
Bet.
up Jerry, because he's
Appreciate it.
into
Oh.
wholesaling. He's into wholesaling and stuff. So I know he has contractors under his belt. So definitely reach out to him.
Yeah, for real. I have another question. So
Yep.
I usually don't play these meme stocks and stuff like that. And this is a little off topic,
Uh-huh.
but I played AMC the last 2 days. I made 1,500 yesterday. I made 1,500 today. So, and I could, if I would have held yesterday, I would have made like 20K. So it is what it is. You profited. I got out at 30%. But what, in your opinion, and I know that you can't give financial advice, but in your opinion, what do you think is going to happen tomorrow? You think anything special is going to happen, or you think it's pretty done?
Man, honestly, I don't even know. I hit on AMC. you know, I just kind of threw some whatever money at it at a few option plays. So I hit pretty big. I cashed out, took my money. I don't really play into the hype stocks and all that. I have my little strategy that I stick with. So honestly, I don't even know.
Yeah.
It might go to the moon, it might crash, man. I don't even know. I stick to my guns. I stick to my strategy. I don't let, you know, that FOMO get to me. There's going to be stocks that you're just going to miss out on, you know, but if you just stick to it and keep doing your due diligence and things like that, you'll catch one. You'll catch one eventually.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I usually don't play them either, but I was like, you know what? Everything was setting up. MACD looked good. RSI was looking good.
Right.
Volume looking good. Open interest was looking good. So I was like, you know what? Let's see what happens. And it panned out. If I would have held,
Yep.
like I said, I would have made a lot more. But it is what it is. You take your profit and you're appreciative.
Yep. Just like with real estate, the same thing applies. The same thing applies in the stock market. If your numbers make sense, then like I said, that's pull that trigger. Like I said, you know, you sound like you do your good due diligence and you know your indicators and things like that. So if everything lines up, then stick to your guns, stick to your strategy always.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. No, I appreciate it, man.
Yep. All right, you guys got any last questions for me before we wrap this up? All right, cool. So I'm gonna start doing something different that I haven't done yet. I'm gonna start dropping, you know, obviously we talk about this real estate stuff, but I'm gonna just throw different little side hustles and different little ideas out to you guys when I wrap this stuff up. So if you guys are looking for a side hustle or you guys are looking for some way to make some extra cash, I want you guys to check out something called GovDeals, gov.deals or govdeals.com. It's a not necessarily a liquidation website, but it's I don't know what the right term is of the website.
Can you
It
put it in the
has
chat?
what's that?
Can you put it in the chat? Like is it spelled GUB deals?
No, GOV
Oh,
deals.com.
Gov deals.
Gov deals. Yeah, it's like an auction. It's a government auction. It's like a liquidity service marketplace. So they have different things on there from vehicles to bikes, boats, books, tools, farming equipment, electrical equipment, art equipment, firearm stuff, health and beauty stuff. I mean, there's literally all type of stuff on here. You know, there'll be stuff from schools. We'll put it on there. Schools might go out and you'll find laptops and stuff, and you'll find a lot of good deals on there. You guys can turn around and flip that stuff. So a lot of times you can find like Apple products on there and you can turn around and resell that stuff. But like everything, you guys got to do your due diligence, read it. They'll tell you in the descriptions if there's anything wrong with it, if the stuff isn't working properly. So you guys want to look at all that stuff. So if you guys are looking for another little side hustle, go check out govdeals.com. You can find some really good cheap stuff that you guys can turn around and resell. So yeah, and they're in a lot of areas. They're everywhere. Like I said, it's whether it be the police department selling vehicles, any government officials that either are upgrading or whatever it may be. There's always good stuff on there. So if you guys are, like I said, looking for another way to make some cash, check out Gov Deals, just another website. Yeah, just a good another way to make some money, put some money in your pocket. So anyways,
Bro,
yeah,
that's crazy because I
a
was
whole
just
bunch of stuff on there.
talking to my friend about that. I was like, man, like when the government do search and seizures and like repossess houses and stuff, I'm like, yo, where do they list it? Like, do you need to fill out an application? Do you need a permit? Do you like
None
how
of
do
that.
you get these things? Because I know they sell them cheap.
Yep, you don't need any of that stuff. So you just got to know the
that's
right website. So there
crazy.
you go. I just dropped the gem for some of you guys. So check that stuff
Yo,
out,
my
you guys.
man, we appreciate you, King.
Yep. So that's what
Is it GOV?
yeah, GOV. govdeals.com.
Thank you.
So yeah,
Appreciate
you're
you.
welcome. So that's something I'm gonna start doing. Yep, I'm gonna start doing that at the end of my classes. I'm gonna throw something random out there for you guys that stick around and tap in with me. And like always, like I know it's late. I'm on the West Coast. I know some of you guys are on the East Coast, and it's not early. So I appreciate you guys taking the time out of your day to tap in with me with these classes. I know some of you guys tap into all my classes, so I really appreciate that. I appreciate the questions you guys have, the interactions, and nothing but the positivity and the good feedback. all the messages that I get from you guys. So like I said, utilize the Wealth Squad. We have a lot of great people in the Wealth Squad. We have a lot of, you know, real estate agents. We have lenders. You know, we have people that are willing to help. We had a real estate agent in our last class. His name is Jerry Tenorio, I believe. So if any of you guys want to reach out to him, he's into wholesaling. He's a real estate agent. He's in Florida, but he does deals all over, and he has a good network himself. And he came in and said, anyone that's in the Wealth Squad that wants to hit him up and do work with him, he is definitely all ears and welcoming. So yeah, use the Wealth Squad. But yeah, I don't really have too much for you guys for tonight. Like I said, this class was kind of short and sweet. Hopefully I was able to answer all you guys' questions, and let's keep this thing moving forward. It's Wednesday, or I'm sorry, it's Thursday. We're almost done with this week. Keep that same energy going into the weekend, finish out the week strong, and we just gonna keep doing this thing every single week. So if you guys don't have any more questions for me, I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your night, and that's all I got for you guys.
Dang, I found a 2 acre
Appreciate you.
lot.
So
Yep.
much.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Welcome, you guys are
Thank
welcome.
you.
Yep,
Appreciate it.
you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thanks, Ace.
no problem, you guys.
There's land on there for sale too, Ace. Dang,
Yep,
man.
it sure
Good,
is.
good set. I found one right now for 20,000. It's
Yep.
got 2 acres, the residential area, the gated community and stuff.
Oh, I'm telling you, I came up big on Gov Deals. I'm gonna let you know right now. There's some gems on there.
Heck yeah, I'm gonna be up here all night looking at this thing. Appreciate it.
No problem, bro.
On that gem deals, I will say a little added tip on there is considering that schools are now starting coming to an end. In every school district across the country, they always reset their computers. It's a perfect time to get all those downgraded computers so they can upgrade their school districts. And those downgrades are actually really, really, really good
Oh yeah.
as far as laptops and tablets and all that stuff.
Right. Yep. They got the good stuff. And most of the time now, most school districts, police departments, medical departments are all switching to Apple. So now everyone's starting to get Apple. So there's a lot of Apple products on there right now.
Yeah, exactly.
I found 4 acres for $5,000 on here.
I'm telling you, Chris, you're gonna be up all night messing with that, man. I'm telling you.
This is
Hey,
crazy.
I'm
It's
telling you,
my period.
when the money don't sleep, it's hard to sleep, man. There's just there's so many ways to make money out there. Hey, you know
Yeah,
what?
for
Hey,
real.
Chris, check out the cars on there, man. That might be your way to your fleet for your hire car route.
Yeah, that's true. Let me take a look right now.
Yeah, those
Oh,
Chargers.
yeah, they got Jeeps on here. Oh man. All right,
And
bet.
everything is legit on there. There's no fake stuff. Like I said, it's all either going to be from the sheriff or seizures, or it's all from legitimate. It's no like companies can't get in. No one can just get on Gov Deals and sell anything on there. So everything on there is legit.
They have 4-wheelers on here for $200. What?
Everything. I'm telling you, I bought some crazy stuff on there and was able to sell it for crazy profit. All you gotta do is just spend some hours on there, go through some of the random categories, write the names down to some of the stuff, and then go into the Google and do a Google search on that stuff so you can see kind of what it's going for. You're gonna be surprised on some of that stuff.
Heck yeah,
I've been able to get stuff for like
I've been trying to find some jet skis because I'm in Tampa, Florida. So like I've been trying to find jet skis.
No, they got jet skis on there, boats, all that stuff. I found a boat on there. I ended up getting outbid on it. There was a boat. They ended up going for, it was like a Bayliner. It went for like 11 grand, but it retailed for, I think it was like 60 or 70. It was a used one.
Dang. The Bayliners are good too.
Yeah, I know.
Funny. Wow. Damn.
Yeah, so I hope you guys have fun with that. If you guys come up on anything or see some good stuff, just hit me. Let me know.
Yes, sir. Appreciate it, bro.
All right, you guys have a good night.
Have a good night, man.
All right.
Bye.
Good night, man.
Bye.